Unfortunately, though, the news that stepped all over the Scott Zappos stuff is that Eli Ricks is gone. Or Sam Spiegelman saying he's entering the transfer portal. Initial reaction is this. No surprise, right? These rumors have been swirling for a while, even despite the vociferous denials from the Ricks camp. It seems like he'd already gotten close multiple times. I don't think it's hard to I don't think it's hard to get yourself there just in the context of who LSU has been since Ricks got here too, Jake.
Yeah.
I mean, he commits after a perfect 2019 season, 15-0, all the momentum in the world. COVID hits, the team falls apart, 500 last year, under 500 this year, injuries abound, head coaching fired. Like, of course, he's transferring. It literally makes all the sense in the world. And it's also indicative of what we talked about a few weeks ago, right? And what I've been saying. Attrition is coming. Like, further attrition is coming. You will lose players you don't want to lose. You will lose recruits you don't want to lose. It just is the price of doing business when you affect a head coaching change. And so now you lose a five-star premier cornerback.
Yeah, honestly, not a surprise at all, just because the reports he's, not happy, he's going to transfer and all that. It's come up multiple times. He ended up playing, and then he has a labrum tear, I believe, and decides to have surgery and not continue the season, and it felt like that might have been the last time we saw him in an LSU uniform, just whenever it happened. Yeah. Now, this could all turn around, and you can get new coaching. He could talk Ricks into coming back. I don't have that feel. This feels like something that is permanent, and he will play college football elsewhere next year. Very talented player. This is someone that is very talented. Freshman year certainly was the year that he jumped on the national scene. This year, some ups and downs, but you're going to have this happen. That's why it is imperative to go ahead and get a head coach in place, not only for the early signing period. I think it's even more so for recruiting your roster now, because it's so easy to leave. You have to start that recruiting now. Like, the new coach could be recruiting these players now, saying, here's my plan. Here's what we're going to be. Here's who we're retaining on the staff. Here's who we're bringing in. Here's my plan for you as an individual and for you as a team player as well. And when you don't have that voice, like, there's no voice right now that can stop anybody from going in the portal. Yeah. Because nobody knows who's going to be here. So now you're going to have players like this enter the portal, and you've got to find somebody that can try to get them out of the portal. We've seen players go in, come out, and still play for LSU. But right now you just don't have a voice, and that's why it's so important. That's why LSU did it so early. They did it early enough to be able to go ahead and have their list of candidates. But now it's getting like crunch time. So –
so some people in chat have said this. Do you think this as a commentary at all about Corey Raymond's future?
Yeah, I saw the same question. Like, we don't know. Yeah, we have no idea. I don't honestly, I don't think so. I think this is more of an Eli Ricks thing. We have no idea. Like, depending on who comes in here, Corey Raymond could be their number one choice to be their defensive backs coach, or maybe they don't have a relationship with Corey Raymond. Like, no assistant coach right now, do I think where they stand with a new staff.
And people are pointing out that entering the portal does not necessarily mean leaving, and maybe not, but in this situation, like we laid it out, given all the toxicity of just what really Eli has experienced since he's been here in Baton Rouge, like, anybody who came in the 2020 class has had the worst 2-year experience of LSU since, what, the 90s? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about in 30 years. So it would not be a surprise to me at all if it's almost irrelevant who the new coach is to him. I'm not saying it's a 0% chance, but it's certainly a very low percentage chance, in my opinion, that he would say at this point. That's fine, though. I'm going to cope like all college football fans do. I'm just going to do the Fansville thing. I'm not sure that Eli Ricks was that good to begin with. Right? I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, he didn't grade out great this year. He was hurt a lot this year. I just don't know if I really saw him paying out anyway. Is anybody else here a tiny child yelling? Am I crazy? Nobody else
I hear somebody yelling.
What is that?
I don't know.
I hear something yelling.
I've made sure I'm like hitting, me and the old man, like hitting the volume down over and over again.
Is it my phone? No.
Nothing coming from the board.
Is somebody yelling in the hallway?
I have no idea. Okay, sorry. Continue. Yeah, Eli Ricks not going to be that good anyway. Good riddance. Not really.
So, again, though, and we're seeing the first stages of it. Like, okay, whenever the first player in the portal, was it Buckstrong? Was he the first one? I think it was Buckstrong.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he played a couple minutes here and there, played some plays, but he was like fourth on the depth chart at Mike linebacker, middle linebacker. Like now you're seeing a top tier player, and that's why it's so important. And that's why you just a lot of people are like, don't rush this. Well, you've had time, and you built yourself that time with the O News, and you've had your list ready to go. But if this becomes a trend, if you get 2 or 3 more names, T-Bob, that put themselves in the portal because they don't know the future of LSU, and I think this Rick's case is different because we've heard this for months. It's not just new. But still, like, you got to have somebody to stop the bleeding and start to sell the program.
Well, should LSU just go after Dan Mullen today then and go ahead and lock him up so that the future is then known?
No.
Dan Mullen, excellent offensive mind.
Offensive
can recruit,
coordinator,
develop quarterbacks. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying. San Francisco T-Up, you were the only child yelling, bro. I'm not crazy. There was something there. I don't know if it was a ghost or Moscona yelling hump day, as Greg Lamont says in the chat, but there was something going on there. So I had it here to talk like kind of and recap the NFL weekend, but that's kind of gone out the window in light of the Rick's news. Again, though, the higher news, like Jake's talking about, can't get here soon enough. Look, in terms of, I just want to know the future, and I want to see the direction, and I want this coach to get in here and start to re-recruit the current players, re-recruit this class, and just lock it all up for the early
right now,
you've
got a flood. You're right. If you're an LSU player, you're in a flood right now, and you are just swimming in it, and you have no island. Your island can be a new head coach.
Yes,
but until you have that, you're treading water. That's what you're doing right now. You're treading water, hoping to find an island. And until you get that island, it's very difficult. Like that process, I've never been through a process where you've known for, 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it's been.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
You don't have the same head coach, and you don't have someone put in place. Like whenever Saban left, it was 3 days later, Les was hired. Now, we didn't see Les for a while because of Christmas break, and he was out there recruiting for the February signing date or whatever, but still, like, you knew you had a head coach, right? When you're treading water right there with no island in sight, it can be a very lonely place and one with a lot of uncertainty.
Well, and other coaches are reaching out to all these cats, right? This doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's not like Eli Ricks just arrived there on his own. There's other coaches saying, hey, we got a much more stable, much better home for you here where all your dreams can be accomplished. I mean, they're hitting the reset button anyway. Why don't you hit a little personal reset button? Come on down here, okay? We got you. Don't worry. Again, why would you be there? Under 500, all these other things. Yeah, you're going to get dirty recruited like a madman here. You need someone to stabilize the bleeding. Damn. Well, it is what it is. Again, I guess I'm in a weird space where I expected this. I've been telling people to expect this. But like most things in life, even though it probably hurts less because you expected it, it still hurts when that reality comes to pass. So
over under 12. Over under 12 days for the next LSU head coach being announced.
I mean, I think it could be as soon as Sunday. So under, right? I mean, it almost would need to be Sunday in a lot of ways because you need to maximize time between before the 15th. And it's so wild. I guess I'll go back to what Alex says, even though he doesn't follow me on Twitter. He said Greg Burns a ninja. Yeah, Scott Woodward doing his best ninja approach here. Because think about all the names that are still being bandied about as legitimate candidates, and there's no way if you're making a decision by Sunday that all those names are still legitimate candidates. For all the talk of everybody saying, oh, it's real here or there, like the list has to be pared down. There's no way that you're actually making this decision between like 6 different guys in a 6-day span.
Right. And this right now, this is a very talented freshman All-American player, Eli Ricks. Not going to sit up here and pump sunshine and be like, oh, it's fine. It's a top-tier player.
Dwight McLaughlin Hive. Let's freaking ride, dude.
Look, you might be joking.
I'm
Those
serious.
defensive backs have stood up and stood tall. The ones that want to play.
I agree.
Last year and this year. That's some dogs. And if I got in a fight, Dwight McLaughlin he's in my corner.
Yes.
He's in my alley. I promise you that.
No, the most disappointing part about the Eli Ricks experience at LSU is just going to be a story of wasted potential. And it's not on Ricks. It's more on LSU, but just what maybe could have been. No,
and I'm not saying that to slight who he is. But right now that's a corner, okay? That's a position that year in and year out, you've got Jimmys and Joes. You start to lose other positions, You start to lose the ones where you're already thin, that's where it can be troublesome.
Yeah.
You start to lose any offensive lineman off this team, that's doomsday. You start to lose any of the very talented young defensive linemen, that's not good, right? Because you got a chance to have one of the best defensive lines in the country next year.
Yeah.
Like you already have one this year. You have the highest graded defensive tackle.
If Mason Smith goes anywhere,
that's
my back will be
exactly
broken.
where
my heart will be broken.
That's where
I can't handle that.
Yeah.
I can't handle that. Okay. Not around the holidays, Mason. Okay. Please. No. Can't do it.
Go get him an island.
Yes. Pay that man. If you're a business owner,
I was like,
legally.
Whoa. Yeah, you're right.
You mean
You're
like
right.
an island?
You're right. You're right. You can legally now
Yes.
do so through your company if he's an endorser of said company. So what T-Bob said plays.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of money down the bayou. Okay. Somebody pay Mason Smith now, please. And like Jake said, give him an island to latch on to, whoever that new island is.